Our response matters. No, it's for real. Your response matters so much, it can literally be the difference between life and death. What's poppin', Neil Hobson? The other time. This is One Goal Podcast. Thank you for joining me on episode 11, talking about how do you respond. Ooh, child, listen, this is a huge one right here. This literally can be the difference between life and death, how we respond every day. And I want to make sure you respond the right way by going to onegoalglobal.com. If you want to pick up some fresh merch, you can do so right there. Shout out to my future sponsor, Chipotle. I'm going to keep speaking it until it happens. I go there about, 4 or 5 times a week, putting money in their pocket. At least they can do is show your boy some love. So we'll see how that works out, all right? I want to talk to you today and add some value to your life so you can take that value and multiply it to others. If you are an entrepreneur, you're an entertainer, you're an audience engager at any level, you definitely want to make sure you tap into the other videos because I'm just trying to add value. That is it. How can I help? You let me know. Shout out to me in the comments, and we'll get it in. All right, so here's the deal. Responding to situations. When life slaps you upside the head, what do you do? How do you respond? This is key because I don't know about you, but life has slapped me a couple times upside my head, slapped the taste straight out my mouth. And sometimes you don't know what to do. You're like, hey, wait a minute. I thought I prepared. I wasn't ready for this. How did that happen? And how you respond makes a difference. You know, we learned in this staff sheet, S+R equals O. S+R equals O, okay? Your situation is something that happens. Everybody's got a situation, right? O is the outcome. What do you want the outcome to be? Now, you may want the outcome to turn out like perfect. You may want the outcome to work in your favor. You may want the outcome just to be peace, okay? You got to know what the outcome you want. Then you plug in the R, your response. You can't control the situation. You can't control your outcome, but what you can control is your response to get you to your desired outcome. And it's easier said than done because sometimes we want to react as opposed to respond. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you've been driving, somebody cut you off in traffic, and you was having a good day until they literally cut you off and they knew what they was doing. And you want to swerve over and swerve in front of them and cut them off as well. Listen, that's a reaction. That can end you. You can end up in jail for the stuff that happens afterwards. You know, one thing that gets on my nerves, you just hear me out. One thing that gets on my nerves is when you're driving and you let somebody over into the lane and they don't give you the courtesy wave. What's up with that? Huh? If I let you over and I'm purposely giving you space to get, and you get over and you don't give me the courtesy wave, bruh, lights my fire, okay? So I'm working on how do I respond, because sometimes you want to respond with some sign language of your own. You know what I'm saying? Give them a couple of fingers. Here's the deal. Your response is everything. My response is everything. It literally can be the difference between life and death. Just one response. Your life could be going great. It'd be going here. And then all of a sudden, you respond the wrong way, and then your life drastically changes in a moment because we didn't make the right response. You know, I was thinking about this time where I didn't get paid to DJ an event that I was promised to get paid for. This is a long, long time ago when I'm first kind of beginning my career, right? And it was a New Year's Eve event. My wife was with me. We go to this event, and the whole event is hinging on the DJ, by the way. And I'm young in the game, didn't have any contracts. We had a conversation. Guy's like, yeah, you know, it depends on how many tickets are sold, how much you're going to get paid, and I'll make sure I take care of you, but I don't know exact number, but I'm going to take care of you. I thought it was going to work out. Face guy. And I'm DJing. The event's going great. And at the end of the night, before we leave the venue, he's not paying me. He's actually nowhere to be found. So we go to the after party, the after spot. I'm like, okay, surely he's just gathering, the money, counting it in the back. So I'm waiting around, saying, and guys not really paying me any attention. So I finally go up to him. I'm like, yo, bro, the promoter, I'm about to leave. Can we settle up? Whoop-de-woo-woo. And he's like, man, see what happened was... First of all, if anybody starts a sentence with see what happened was, it's not going to end up well for you, okay? So he says, we didn't make enough money and so on and so forth, so I can't pay you. I'm like, what? The whole event hinged on the DJ. I showed up. I did what I was supposed to do other than handle my business up front. And you can't pay me? I'm mad, my wife's mad, and I had to choose how to respond in that situation. Is this gonna be a loss, or is this L gonna be a lesson? I made it a lesson. I walked out of there hurt, pride, just hurt, frustrated at myself, frustrated at him, embarrassed. But I was like, you know what? This will never happen again. So what did I do? I started working on my business before I even get to the situation. So I chose to respond the right way. And I could have towed a club up, you know what I'm saying? Went a club, but I could have towed that thing up. Just everybody gets something, But I chose to respond the right way. When we respond in the right way in real-time situations, I think it shows poise. I think it shows professionalism. I think it shows that we're under control even when things get hot. Some people, we will never get ahead in life if we cannot control the temperature in the room. Okay? Let me just break it down real quick. We were called to be thermometers. I'm sorry, let me back that up. We're called to be thermometers, yes. We're called to be thermometers, not thermostats. No, we're called to be thermostats, not thermometers. Help me out, okay? Thermostats set the temperature, set the tone. You can dial in, okay, I want it hot, I want it cold. Thermometers measure what it is, and maybe it'll react to what you have set. I want to be the thermostat. When I walk into a situation, I want to set the tone to what it's going to be. And when you're in real life situations, especially when you're on stage or you're in leadership or you're engaging someone, entrepreneurship, you have real-time situations that happen all the time. What do you do? How do you respond? How do you react? Well, hopefully it's with a level head. Hopefully you have some systems in place that will help guide you to the right answer as opposed to just doing things sporadic. If you're like me, okay, this is one thing I've been working on. Number one, consistency. That's my word for the year. Consistency. Number two is not to end up in a ditch. You know what I mean? Like, have you ever been in a situation where you're in one ditch, then you respond or react and you end up in a whole nother ditch, and then you're just going back and forth from ditch to ditch to ditch. And that's just not a healthy place, okay? Emotionally, it's not good for relationships. And I'm trying to make sure that when I respond, that I don't end up in the ditch that's going to lead me away from the right things or the right relationships. So break this down here. Somebody says and promises something to me. They say, hey, let's set. I had somebody that wanted to set up a Zoom call, right? So I'll say, okay, cool. And they set up the Zoom call. They didn't show up to it. I texted, they didn't respond. And then a day later, they say, hey, I'm sorry, missed the Zoom. Let's set up another one. I'm like, okay. So I set up another Zoom call. And they don't respond. They don't even show up to the Zoom call. And they want something from me. I'm like, what are you doing? And they hit me back, hey, my bad, whoop-de-woo-woo. Whoop-de-woo-woo is Hebrew for on some baloney, right? So they don't show up to the second one. They have the nerve to ask me for a third Zoom call. I'm like, okay, if you do this, we need to put it in our calendar. We need to Google invite, whatever. They don't show up to that one either. My response is to go in the ditch and say, you know what? You will never talk to me again. Lose my number. You're so disrespectful to my time. I wanted to just completely erase them off the planet in a respectful way. And but I was like, I don't want to end up in that emotional ditch. So I'm like, you know what? What I'll do is start creating some barriers, some good practices. Like, hey, we're going to create a Google invite, and you're going to confirm that. And if you don't confirm it, then we're not going to follow through. So I'm going to set up some SOPs, standard operating procedures in my life, so we can get the desired outcome and we don't end up in a ditch emotionally. It's easy to cut people off. It's easy to say, you know what? I'm so frustrated. I'm so hurt. And every time you're using absolutes, every time and always. And then you end up in an emotionally unhealthy place because of our response. This is what I'm working on real time. I know you're working on it as well. If you're an entrepreneur, entertainer, audience engager, we have real-time things that happen all the time. How do you respond to it? If you're on stage and somebody starts heckling you, they start taking over the show, what do you do? How do you respond? Well, hopefully you're witty, you're on your feet, and you can respond to get control of the situation and move in the direction that you want to go. If you're a leader, people are always waiting on you to see what your response is going to be, right? People are looking to you to say, okay, are you going to respond the right way when things go left? Or are you going to respond like everybody else? Because if you're responding like everybody else, then maybe they don't want to follow under your leadership. It's important for us to be consistent. This is what I'm working on right now. I mess up. I blow it all the time. Because if you're hot one day and then cold another day, if you're in this ditch one day and that ditch another day, people don't know if they can trust you. They don't know if you're going to lead them consistently, because I'm not sure when I walk in, who's Neil going to be today? Is he going to be upbeat, happy, or is he going to be frustrated and cynical? Is he going to be sarcastic? Or is he going to be demanding and demonstrative? Like, what is he going to be today? I don't want people to wonder about that. I want it to be pretty level. You know what I mean? And that's not easy, especially based on your personality. So leadership is influence, nothing more, nothing less, right? Leadership is serving and saying, hey, how can I serve the need of the people? We are all in the people business. That's right. You, me, we're all in the people business. No matter if you're working in tech, you're working in finance, you're an athlete, you're working in radio, you're in marketing, you're a creative, maybe you are very analytical. It doesn't matter. You are in the people business. And one thing that, Chick-fil-A does very well, one thing that Chipotle does very well is they know customer is first. Customer's not always right, let's be honest, but the customer is first. How can I serve you? When you're a leader, it's all about serving the other person. Some of our family values is, hey, we're going to love God, we're going to love each other, we're going to serve each other, and we're going to choose humility. That's not easy. They're cute to have as family values, but to live it out is a whole other thing. Love God, love each other, serve each other, and choose humility. Man, it's a work in progress. How I respond in my house makes a difference. It helps set the tone to what the day is going to be. So if things don't go my way, if I'm feeling frustrated, if I'm feeling, whatever I'm feeling, I need to make sure that I'm responding the right way. I know you're working on this. I'm working on it too. But our response can literally mean the difference between life and death. Say, for instance, we respond the wrong way, and then the worst happens, and then we end up in jail, or you end up losing everything. Maybe you're losing your finances. Maybe you're losing your business. Maybe you're losing your relationships, your family, and your job, and everything just goes wrong based off of one response. I'm working at small little things, because they lead up to big things. And I know you're working on it as well. You're doing a great job. You're doing a whole lot better than what you think you are, by the way. I hope this encourages you. I hope it encourages you, because it encourages me. Our response definitely makes a difference. Am I a work in progress? Absolutely. Are you a work in progress? Absolutely. Are we going to get better? Yes. One day at a time, 1% better. We're going to put habits in place to make sure each day we get a little bit better. Hope this added a little bit of value to your life, so you can take that value, multiply it to others. If you're an entrepreneur, you're an entertainer, you're an audience engager, which I think everybody is to some degree, I hope this helps you, and take it, share with somebody else. But the One Goal Podcast is on and popping. There's other videos that you can check out, other episodes. But I'd love for you to click that follow button, hit that subscribe button, show some love if you like it, and if you like it, share it. That's what's popping. One Goal Podcast with Neil Hobson. Shout out to Chipotle. See you soon. Peace.